our guest here today. I have two guests with me that are coming and representing Bexar County Fostering Educational Success Program. Reached out to me, and this is why we do what we do, right? Because there's a lot of organizations that are doing some great things, and the more we can get that information out and let them know this is what we're doing, these are the services or resources that are provided, everybody wins, because they are doing this because they want to help the community, and sometimes the community are in need of some of these services, but they don't know where to go or where to turn. So we have with us today Airika Buford, and she is the project director for Bexar County Fostering Educational Success. Also with her is Brandi Purswell. Did I say that correct? Purswell?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I have a habit of jumping up names, as I said earlier. And she is a career readiness coordinator there also for Bexar County Fostering Educational Success Program. Thank you so much for being here. Say hello to the people that are listening out there right now.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Sal, for having us.
Yes, thank you so much, and hello, everyone.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking up time. I know that the word foster, I kind of understand that word, right? Because we do have a couple of partners that have foster programs, but until you get to know what they do, a lot of them kind of do something a little different. And, one program may be devoted to something, and then you have something else that they're doing something different, but they are making an impact and trying to help the foster children. Am I correct that this is what the program is about?
Yeah.
Yes, Sal. It's quite a coincidence that your show is called Bridging the Gap, because in many ways we do that for foster youth who are currently in care, and those are aging out of the system, and we do so by providing holistic services to make sure that their transition to higher education is successful and that they can graduate in a timely manner and be prepared for adulthood and also a career once they complete their college degree.
Right, and that program is very important because I know that you are. What is the age group that you're servicing?
So our program serves young people as young as 14 years old, all the way through college graduation. And so we have some of our participants that are utilizing our services up to the age of 30.
See, I didn't know that because I saw another program recently that we're targeting 18 to 22, I think. So. Like I said, every program's different, right? Some may be a little bit younger within the system, like 14 to the age group that you're dealing with, or it's just you never know until you find out where there is the connection, right? And that's the program that y'all are providing, which is awesome. I know there's great need, like we're talking about. You hear it a lot, fostering or foster parents or kids that are in the foster system. I know it's a difficult situation because a lot of these kids, they're like are here and they're there, and it's difficult. And then they become 18 and kind of like, okay, you're kind of on your own now.
Yes.
But you're not only dealing with the 18 and up, but you're also dealing with 14 through 30.
Yes. Definitely. And a lot of programs that serve this population are limited to their funding. One of the great things about our program is we receive funding from the Texas legislature to ensure that we are increasing those graduation rates for our youth in foster care. And so we have some flexibility in that. And then one of the requirements for the young people who participate is the utilization of the tuition and fee waiver. And so once that's locked in, our participants can use it all the way up until their doctoral degree, which sometimes you don't complete that until you're 30 or so. Brandi has a lot of knowledge because she has a history in providing funding support for youth in foster care. And so she knows a lot of the nuances here in Texas related to that. But that is one of the great things about our program, is using that as a requirement for services allows us to provide that education or holistic support into adulthood. Many of us know that just when you turn 18, you don't become an adult. You need that service or support, network of support well beyond that.
No, exactly. And see, that's something I didn't know that you just brought up, that you're able to not only get your, let's say, your high school degree or bachelor's, but now you're telling me master's all the way up to PhD.
Yes. Yes.
See, I didn't know that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's just not, okay, we can give you a couple little things, but to be able to get an education all the way up to PhD, that is, wow.
Yeah.
That's all I can say right now as well, and something, again, I didn't know about.
Yeah.
They
Brandi,
can
you wanna
actually
talk
get
about
as many degrees as they would like. It's good
Right.
for a lifetime. So that tuition and fee waiver that they get from the state of Texas, any Texas public school, they can use it for the rest of their life and get as many degrees as they would as they would like.
Right. And see, that's great, because a lot of times you think, well, the foster system and all this, they're coming out, they have no options. They do have options, and again, it's being able to bring these up to the forefront and say, you know what, there's more than you think there is. It's a lot of times, like, I love working with the youth, high school youth, and so I always tell them, I said, there's more out there, but a lot of times you're going to have to hustle. You're going to have to move on your own. It's not going to come and, people are just not going to bring it to you on a plate.
That's right.
You got to move, you got to scratch, you got to do this and figure out, are these things there and where can I go? But if you don't move, nothing happens.
That's right. Yeah.
And so as far as the program, is it just education-wise that they're able to benefit from it, or are there any other programs or anything else that maybe that are available other than the program that you're telling me about right now?
Yeah, the beauty about our program is that it's a cross-system collaboration. And so essentially what that means are stakeholders in child welfare, education, and other sectors come together to ensure that we're bridging those gaps, that we're providing resources that aren't only just centered on education, that we look at the student holistically. And so if there's mental health or physical needs, we know our students aren't going to be successful in education. Or if they are lacking finances or opportunities for employment, they may not be as successful as well. And so we try to look at the young person and provide an assessment of both their strengths but also their needs, and making sure that if we don't provide those services in-house, that we can connect them to community partners, or what we call champions, to ensure that there is no barrier to their educational success.
And that's so true, because a lot of times we think, well, yeah, you want to go to school, you want to be successful, but because of where these kids are at, the foster system and what they're dealing with, I mean, you hear these stories, sometimes you wonder why things happen, but unfortunately they do. And it's very it's important that they know when they come out, because a lot of times they're carrying, I call it emotional baggage, and to be able to want them to succeed, a lot of times they can't get there because of what they're dealing with inside. And a lot of times it's like, we want to treat the symptom but not the core of the problem.
Exactly.
And being able to know that these resources or services are available to say, hey, before you even think about success, which you should, but a lot of times it's the mental aspect of how equipped are you to be able to make that transition and to be fruitful or successful in what you want to do. And so being able to know that these services are available, it's a great thing to know, because that's a lot of times that's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
To be productive and to be able to say, okay, it's not just, push you through it and you're still dealing with something emotionally, which you'll carry with the rest of your life if you don't find an answer or a solution to.
Correct. And even beyond that, our students tend to struggle with housing. And so one of the beauties about our programs, we have 5 partners in total. UTSA is the fiduciary of this program, but we also have our Texas A&M San Antonio campus as a partner. We have the Alamo College Districts, all 5 of their campuses. We partner with Bexar County Children's Court and Casa San Antonio. And collectively, our programs provide those resources. But back to the housing, a lot of our students have the opportunity to stay on our campuses in dorms and utilize the additional service that the state provides if they elect to stay in extended care. And so they can stay in dorms as their peers would up to the age of 21. And then we have an additional resource with our Housing First program, which is HUD funding, that can provide housing vouchers all the way up to 24. And so, like I said, not just focusing on education, but also on those other needs. And then also for career services that Brandi can talk about, her new role with our program is centered on connecting those resources to young people as it related to their career trajectories.
Right, and that's what I was looking at, that you are you the one that, if, let's say, somebody's listening out there, maybe we have a foster kid that's listening, or maybe you're parents to a foster kid and you want to be able to connect them with resources such as these that are available, are they the ones that reach to you as far as the education part of it? if they want to go to school, or what exactly does your job entail?
So I'm the Career Readiness Coordinator for BCFES, and I'm brand new, just started in December.
Okay.
And this program is in the pilot stage, but we have actually partnered with the City of San Antonio's Ambassador Program. And so what we're working on is we want to make sure that we're getting employability skills and training to our students. Also, we're working on job placement and paid internships for this coming summer. And then we're also working on mentoring and shadowing with other professionals in the community and organizations. And so we're wanting to work with our students to make sure that they're, picking a career that's right for them, where they're going to be happy, and they're going to make, living wages and do well, be able to provide for themselves. And then just, making sure that they have all of those skills that they need for getting a career, finishing school.
Right. And because you offer so many services, again, if somebody's listening out there right now, you're thinking, wow, I didn't know all this and I'm interested in something. Do you have a contact, or who can they reach to maybe reach out to say, I want more information, or I'd like to be part of that program?
Yeah, most definitely. We have a website, which is www.bcfes.org. All the information related to our programs and services are there. We have a contact us page that has our contact information, but also the contacts at each of the campuses. And so it all depends on the interest of the youth. And so if they want to start off at the community colleges, we have our student care advocates at the Alamo College District that can get them set up for intake and assessment, kind of see where their needs are and connect them with services and get them squared away. Or if they're looking at a 4-year university, they can choose our great UTSA or great Texas A&M San Antonio campuses just based off of whatever their educational interests are. But we have campus-based support programs and coaches at each of those locations that can help navigate that process for them, help them with application, securing documents, enrolling in class, and then there's a continuation of that relationship building between the coach and the student, so they can have a sense of belonging on campus and get any of their needs met along the way. Our goal is to make sure that all of our students are academically and emotionally prepared for success, and like I mentioned earlier, that is not only focused on education, it's all these other things that may come into play as it relates to that. And so that's what our staff is here for, is to help navigate that process with the students.
Right. And this is what I'm hearing, and this, I love what I'm hearing, because it's like it encompasses everything. It's not just, let's just get you to school and figure out, graduate you and that's it. But it's more than that, because a lot of times, like I said, sometimes a person have to be made whole again, because they're missing so many different parts because of what they go through and everything. And I know a lot of times they'll move just to be able to move and not really be complete. And so I think that's important, because a lot of times I think a lot of people think, well, I get a degree, I'll be successful and I'll make money. But inside, I think you're still kind of lacking some things, that you're not happy or you're not at peace with yourself. Right. And being able to connect, these resources to help you be able to complete yourself in a certain way, because if not, all these things that come, you're inside, I think you're still kind of lacking or miserable, right? Yeah. As I would say, because I met some people like, yeah, I have this, but I'm still, I don't know, there's something missing. And a lot of times it may be that because of what they've dealt with in the past and their issues as far as where they're coming from. But I'm glad to hear that this is what y'all are doing, that you encompass everything as a whole to make that person complete as much as possible. Yeah,
and even addition to that, we are a trauma-informed care network. We're currently going through the trauma-informed care certification through the City of San Antonio. And so not only just practicing what we preach, we'll have documentation to show. These are the policies and procedures and guidelines and steps that we're taking to ensure that we are not at risk of re-traumatizing our students, that we are keeping in mind that trauma is a very realistic part of their not necessarily repair that, but help and understand that we're all in a better place. The last thing that we want to do is to further hurt our young people. We want to help them heal in the process of them reaching their goals. And so, like I mentioned earlier, we try to do that as early as 14, and we specifically have a program centered around that, and it's called CLIMB, and it's Cultivating Learning in Middle School and Beyond. And it provides that socio-emotional learning in addition to college prep for young people in both a hybrid work environment. And so we offer online classes, but also in-person sessions that center around, what you need to start college. How do you take care of your mental and physical health? Remove that stigma of having that trauma history. How to shop for groceries and wash clothes. All those things that we take for granted or learn from our parents. We want to be able to provide that resource for students. That way, some of those issues and barriers are not as prevalent once they get to our college campuses. And so that's one of the beauty about, like I said, our funding and our program. We can be very innovative in making sure that we reach young people as early as possible.
Right, and that's so true, what you're saying, because when you were talking, it brought this up. I remember I had this youth that was part of our youth group, and she had graduated high school. Everything was good, right? And I thought, well, they're graduating, they're moving on to something else. But I ran into her, and she mentioned, actually, I said, hey, how things going? You graduated, you're out there now, and she goes, well, I want to go back to high school. And I go, what do you mean you want to go back to this guy's high school? He goes, well, I want to go back to high school and give my teacher and counselor a piece of my mind. I'm like, okay, why would you want to do that? She goes, well, because, they taught me English, they taught me math and all these things that I need to learn, but they never taught me anything about life. And so now I'm out here and I'm trying to figure things out. How do I go open a bank account? How do I go apply for a job or even open a bank account or anything like that? Just some basic things that nobody taught me. Now I'm trying to figure things out on my own. So it's frustrating. So when I heard that, it's so true. If you empower them right now before they get out there, they're better equipped to be able to make better decisions, because it's like, okay, well, yeah, they taught me about this, or I learned this. And so it makes it a little easier. I'm not saying it's going to be totally easy, because life comes full of challenges and everything, but I think if we're able to do it at that young age, at 14 or a little younger if possible, we'll equip them better. And especially these young people that, the foster kids, because they have to deal with so much. And I was thinking about that because of the pandemic. Us as just basic, ordinary people that may not have issues like they have, it's been pretty tough on us. So I can imagine all that compounded on them, on top of what they're already dealing with. It's a lot to have to deal with.
Yeah. Right. It's a tough time for us as a society, and additionally so in the child welfare. And so we just hope to be that positive opportunity for our students, and like in the programming that we provide, preparing them not only with those life skills, but as Brandi mentioned, with the fostering career readiness, employability skills. And so if you want to talk about some of those workshops that we plan to
you have something coming up?
Well, and like you mentioned, we start with the career readiness program, we start as young as 14. And we want to work with them on their soft skills and, getting communication skills, learning, critical thinking, how to, when they get in certain situations, learning how to appropriately handle those so that they are, not making situations worse, possibly not being able to hold on to a job because they're not able to handle situations. And so we are offering several, we're actually going to be doing this every 2 weeks until the internships start this summer. We're offering different workshops, and in fact right now we're partnering with the Transition Center with BCFS and having another resume workshop at the end of February that's going to be virtual right now because of the numbers, but we are planning to have some in-person and different parts of town and on the different campuses. But we are going to be having resume workshops, and then just other communication skills and just several other subjects that just help them with those, just, interacting with other people and being able to handle situations and stuff to make them have those employability skills.
You want to talk about the partnership with San Antonio Threads too?
Absolutely, yes. So we, one of the things we are also going to work with them on is dressing professionally. And so we are partnering with San Antonio Threads, which I know has been involved with you guys as well. And so they are actually going to be providing each of our students with a professional outfit. And also we're going to be having a workshop that day on how to dress professionally, and of course showing like the gentleman how to tie a tie, and things like that.
Right, and these are just, like I said, for us it seems very basic. For them it's like, oh my God, this is something that I've never even thought I could have done or do. And I'm glad, San Antonio Threads, awesome program that what they're doing for the kids. They've been blessed in so many different ways, that they're able to even do more now. Kathy, as a matter of fact, she's been here. We've interviewed her before, her and some of her colleagues. And I love what they were doing, because they said, some of these kids never had even new pants or new shoes to begin with.
Exactly.
And here it's just like nothing's used, everything's new. So they get to go, and it's not like, okay, here you go, here's what we want to give you.
Exactly.
It's kind of like you choose what you want.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it's great because some of our students had the opportunity to go and shop for Coach, the designer, brand new Coach. Yes. And so our students were super excited to do that. And so we're very appreciative of the partnership that we've had over our short time of having this program with various community partners, and San Antonio Threads is one of them.
Right. And I want to give them a plug, because they're doing some great things.
Yeah.
If you have a young person, a teenager that maybe is lacking, or maybe he's going to do an interview and they don't have the proper attire, or I know a lot of times going back to school, they don't have the resources or the financials to be able to buy clothes. I don't have their information in front of me, but SA Threads, you want to go and maybe look them up, because they are doing some great things for the community as well. Like you said, it's one partnerships that we have. They blessed us with some things as well, and vice versa. And that's what Bridging the Gap is about. Making these collaborations and being able to partner with all the different organizations or nonprofits, whoever's out there that is doing something for the community. We want to be able to let them know, hey, they're doing something great. You want to either support them, or a lot of times it's like you want to help, go help, volunteer. I don't know if you have that option available, if anybody would like to help. I know sometimes they're looking for volunteers, but it's out there, and this is, from what I'm hearing, it's a great program what y'all are doing.
Thank you. We try, and I can't say, it's definitely the saying, it takes a village, and we do have that. And so I have to give a shameless plug to all of our partners again. We have the Fostering Education Success Center at UTSA, as I mentioned, that campus-based support. We have the FATE Center at Texas A&M. We have the PATH program at the Alamo Colleges, and then we have the College Bound Docket, which is Bexar County Courts and Casa San Antonio. And so it's all of our work collectively that brings so much success to this program. And San Antonio itself has wrapped their arms around this support for young people who have that history of foster care, and I truly thank them from the bottom of my heart. This is a labor of love for me. I'm not originally from San Antonio, but have done this work since I've been a professional, so over 12 years in this work, and it's heartwarming to see the amount of support that we receive in our program and our students receive from this great city. And so I'm thankful to everyone that has been a part of the growth and success of our program.
And you did mention volunteering, and we will be looking for businesses that would like to have interns and also mentors for our students.
So there's a partnership there with the businesses. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I'm just amazed at everything that y'all are doing, and I always believe that our Bridging the Gap has some of the best partners, because they do what they do from their heart. I know it's about the paycheck, you gotta survive, but I think more than anything else, when I see people doing something from their heart, it's a greater impact, I believe. And I think this is what you are doing in helping these foster kids to sometimes reach another level that they thought maybe they couldn't reach. Really quick before we leave, where can they contact you if they need more information?
Yes, please visit our website. Again, it's bcfes.org, or you can reach us at 210-458-5753. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're at the end of our program here, but thank you so much for coming. I appreciate this, and whatever we can do to help, please let us know. Again, thank you so much, listeners. We will be back here again next week. God bless and take care.